What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about WandaVision Episode 3, full spoiler talk. I'm doing my magician pointer finger like I'm Wanda herself. I'm joined by my lovely lady friend Cam. How you doing, Cam?
Good.
It's like 4:40 in the morning. We did a live watch party of Episode 3. 5:08 in the morning. Still early. Haven't gone back to sleep. Wearing the WandaVision shirt. Ready to talk all things Episode 3. So if you've not seen the episode, definitely go watch it and then come back and hear our spoiler thoughts. What do you think of the episode?
It was so good.
Easily the best so far. Granted, it's only the third of the series, but... So the episode takes place in the 70s, and it's following that sitcom vibe from the start. You get the Brady Bunch intro, right? It's
Yes.
like the Brady Bunch?
Yes.
And Wanda's pregnant, like heavily pregnant. She went from being revealed to being pregnant at the end of the episode 2 to like, I'm about to have kids right now.
Yeah.
And
she had like a 9-month pregnancy in the span of like 13 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And Vision is basically trying to go get the doctor. And during this, Geraldine / Monica Rambeau comes over to Wanda's house. Wanda is trying not to have the baby before the doctor arrives.
She's literally just in labor the whole time.
Yeah, basically. But we get to some big reveals we'll get to in a second. However, Geraldine in this plays a huge role in this episode because there's a scene where she's trying to talk to Wanda about life, and Wanda's trying to hide the fact that she's pregnant, you know? And there's a bird walking around in the background. It's weird stuff, but I think that it really works. During this whole thing, Vision is also trying to get the doctor, whose name's Stan. I think that might be a nod. I'm not really sure. But there's an interesting little piece of dialogue there where Stan mentions that he was going to go on vacation, but he's not because it's hard to escape.
Yeah, he was like, Vision was like, I hope you can still make your vacation. And he was like, oh, you know, I don't think we're going to make it anymore. Small towns, you know, they're hard to escape.
Yeah, which is definitely hinting at the simulation, which we're going to talk about in a second. But Wanda ends up having the kids, and Geraldine actually has to deliver the first one.
Yes.
And then Vision comes in to see it. It's a sweet little moment. He actually turns into Vision himself instead of the Paul Bettany face. And then he delivers a second child. There's a second child. So they have the twins in this episode. That was a big prediction going into it. People were like, is it going to be this episode? Is it going to be the next? It's this episode. The pregnancy went by that fast. It just goes to show how fast the magic works because this is all a fake reality. And that's fully revealed as there's a very intense scene. Like the last 5 minutes of this are so intense. So there's actually a scene where Monica Rambeau is almost confronting Wanda in a sense. Wanda says, I had a brother. And then Monica Rambeau talks about how, oh yeah, Pietro, right? He was killed by Ultron. And then that kind of sets off Wanda, who also, Wanda notices there's a sword logo on the necklace of Monica Rambeau, which is a huge detail that reveals that she's probably there for a reason. I think that Sword sent Monica Rambeau in there to try and get information or to break Wanda out of the simulation or whatever's going on, because she gets ejected from the simulation at the very end.
Yeah, and that's the first time that we see the red that comes with Wanda's powers. That's the first time we've seen it in the show.
Yeah, and it's the first time we see the outside of Westview.
Yes.
And then a bunch of vehicles, helicopters, there's spotlights swarming Geraldine / Monica Rambeau. And I believe this next episode will pick up with that. I think we'll see Jimmy Woo and Darcy probably talking to her. And I think that they sent her in because she has superpowers. And I think that's the only way that you can get into that reality. And that's why I think Doctor Strange will come into play later when they send him in.
And who do you think the Beekeeper is?
The Beekeeper? I think it's just a regular sword agent because he came in through the sewer.
I think we're skipping a big part of the episode at the beginning. Where Vision, he's kind of putting 2 and 2 together. He's like, the dinner with Mr. Hart.
Yeah.
Herb, their neighbor. He's like, there's so many things that are weird. And he was like, I think something's wrong here. And then there's like a glitch. And it jump cuts like back a few frames. The conversation starts over. Similar to at the end of episode 2, where the Beekeeper comes out of the sewer and Wanda's like, no, and everything rewinds. But it's not similar though, because in this episode 2, it was like a rewind. Versus in episode 3, this is a jump cut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like this jump cut wasn't her.
Yeah, this jump cut was very jarring. And because of that, and she didn't really say anything, it feels like someone else is controlling it.
I feel like if anybody is going to be able to talk to Wanda about something weird happening, it's Vision. Because her face, when he's telling her this stuff, she actually looks concerned. Mm-hmm. She doesn't look like angry or anything like that. She's not like... And it
felt like real Vision.
Yes, you literally said that.
That's the real Vision. You can tell, like...
Yeah. That's like, I feel like the first time we've seen the real Vision talking to her, he's like, I think something's wrong here. That was Vision. Versus all this other stuff, it hasn't really felt like him. Wanda actually looks concerned. She doesn't look angry. She doesn't look mad. Like, she actually looks concerned and like she's listening to him. And then it just like jump cuts back. And when we were watching it, I was like, did our screen just glitch?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah, I have to give props to the editing team because they did a good job of really just jarring the audience there. And it furthered the questions that we have about this reality and what's really going on behind the scenes, which plays into a scene that happens later while the confrontation is happening with Monica Rambeau and Wanda. Vision is outside of the house talking to the neighbor. Herb and Agnes are out there. And there was also something that happened earlier on where Herb is like cutting through the wall. Like he's supposed to be trimming like bushes, and he's cutting through the brick wall.
Trimming his herbs.
I see what you did there. But Agnes is out there. They look very concerned. They're having a conversation, and Vision goes over there and wants answers. And Agnes is trying to shut down Herb from Herb revealing too much.
He's like, Geraldine is here because...
Yeah, we're here. We're all here because...
Because...
And he keeps saying it, and he never finishes it. And I'm like, is it because we're dead? Is it because we're in a simulation? It adds a lot of questions and mystery going into the future episodes.
When Agnes turns around in that scene and tells him to stop talking, she doesn't look evil. She doesn't look mad that he's like about to ruin her evil plan. She looks concerned and she looks worried.
I think that she's worried because I think her husband might be in behind it, you know? And so she's worried that the husband will get mad at her.
Interesting.
Something like that. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling. Because I definitely think she has her toe in the water here. She's definitely aware of what's going on.
There's definitely something fishy about her. I hate that I can't get a grip on anything in this show. I think that Sword is bad, and then I feel like Sword is good. I think that Monica doesn't know what's going on, but then I think that she does. I think that Agnes doesn't know what's going on, but then she does. I think Agnes is bad, but then it looks like she's good. I don't think Wanda's controlling it, but then I think she is.
That's what's great about the show. It's creating this mystery, and the final 2 or 3 episodes are going to fully like reveal everything, and it's just going to be such a satisfying payoff that's going to play into future MCU movies, and I'm stoked to finally get there. I've heard that the next 2 episodes are more sitcom, the next 2 or 3, and after that I heard that it's probably going to be full on like
Marvel.
Yeah, MCU movie, and I'm stoked to get there.
It's so far away. I want to give acknowledgement to Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany's acting. I don't know anything about acting, but I do know that the ability to change between like being happy-go-lucky sitcom 70s type energy to being extremely concerned and like just the way that they are is so challenging to switch that fast. And they do it so well, especially Elizabeth Olsen, when she has like the single tear fall down her face when Pietro's mentioned.
They both give really solid performances that are different from what we've seen from them so far in the MCU, which I have to give them props for. This show's created a ton of mystery so far. I'm excited to come back next week for the live watch party and our next video to see the next chapter of WandaVision. But that's going to do it for our thoughts on this episode. Hope you all enjoyed. Definitely hit the like button. Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next week to talk all things WandaVision. All of Cam's links will be in the description down below. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean a lot. And WandaVision, it's here. It's in full force. See you guys next time.